This week on Steele's Reel in the Outdoors with Joe Thomas.
There's one right there.
Got him.
A lot of them like that.
Which one do you want? You decide. Look at that one. Just a gorgeous. Look at that. Just amazing. Oh my gosh, it's a giant. It is a monster.
This is what it's about right here.
We're on him, dude.
There he is.
I got him. Brother. Yeah, stop. What a monster. God.
This is fun.
Whoa! Look at that. Whoa! I'm Joe Thomas. For over 25 years, I've made my living with a rod and reel. And today, more than ever, I'm still fascinated by the people that make fishing a uniquely American pursuit. What you're about to see is real. This is Steele's Reel in the Outdoors.
Reel in the Outdoors with Joe Thomas is presented by Steele. Are you ready for a steal? And by Tidelines UV Tackle, Browning Eyewear and Accessories, the Wear It campaign, and Brookfield Renewable Energy, making water safety a priority, and Billy Chapman Jr.'s Anglers Inn International.
Hi, I'm Joe Thomas, and welcome to Steele's Reel in the Outdoors. Now this week I'm going to be doing one of my favorite things, chasing trophy smallmouths on one of the most famous smallmouth lakes in the world. Today I'm off to one of my old stomping grounds, the western basin of Lake Erie, with my good friend and guide, Gerry Gosnick. Now the really interesting part is that we're fishing Lake Erie in mid-November and the water temperatures are frigid. And that means I'm going to have to break out a bait that's been in my tackle box for over 30 years. It's one you rarely see. It's called the blade bait. Got him.
Nice.
Right on the drop, like you said. You called it, babe.
That's a good fish too.
Yep. Nice
Yeah.
one. Get my glove wet for that
Joe,
one.
I'm gonna pitch a marker on that spot.
Yeah.
That really looked
ahead.
juicy
Right
there.
off the back of the boat. Throw it off the
Oh.
back. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
That's a good
Size
fish.
that fish.
Need a hand with him?
I got it. Go ahead. Keep fishing. He's barely hooked too. Barely hooked. Let me get my tongue in your mouth. Whoa. Those hooks are sharp, dude. Yeah, just a chunk. Slab. Boy, isn't it pretty in that sunshine? Beautiful fish.
There he is.
You got one too?
Yep. Right on that same spot.
It's like a little drop there, isn't it?
Yep. I got the marker out there. He's not as big as that last one you had, but
It's okay though, they're here.
look at him. See him?
Yep, see him on the graph. Oh no.
Big backlash.
I get all excited and I get all messed up. That's why it's so much fun. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Another one?
Yep, right there.
Right on that
This
spot.
one's got a little weight to it.
I think that's a big one, Jer.
I never saw him when he came up.
I saw a flash. It looked like a nice one.
He's all right. I mean, he ain't a giant, but good fish.
I found us a little wad of them here, huh?
He did. They're stacked right there.
I'm gonna kick that buoy. It looks like that buoy might have got hung up on the string. I can see him. Look at him all over. Look at him all over.
Oh man, we're on him right here.
Okay, finally. Look, the buoy just finally. I got him. Oh man.
This is what it's about
Got him.
right here.
We're on him, dude. We're on the little school now. I don't know.
Bad.
Shoot, not very big. It's 3 pounds plus. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a good fish.
I want to swing them in so I can get back in there. Look at that. Just flopping them in like there's no big deal. I mean, we talk about stacked. You're getting ready to see what stacked is all about.
Oh God, I just missed him.
There's a load of them right here.
Oh man, they are attacking that sucker.
My bait's hung up. I'm like, come on.
Oh. This is fun when you get on
They
a
get
lot. It's a lot of them like that. I've missed them 4 times. There
Got
he
it.
is.
Good job. There's like a 3-foot drop right there. We saw it on the graph and saw the fish. Caught one, dropped the buoy, and it's rock session now. Careful with that bait, dude. Like a bullet when it comes loose. They're all over the screen.
Yeah, we're gonna pound them right here.
I mean, this is what it's all about. This is why winter smallmouth fishing is so good. Even though they're on the most subtle structure, they pack up like wolves. And when you find them, you see them on your electronics, you can catch one after another after another. It's amazing. Got him.
Nice.
Oh, Jerry, I think this is a big one, dude.
Let me get rid of this little
This is
guy.
a big one here. Got that wide head shake, you know?
Yep.
He's pulling so hard.
That's a good one.
Not a giant.
A giant. You just gonna swing
Yeah,
him?
I'll swing him. I thought he was a lot bigger than that. Yeah, get back in there. We're right on him. Look at this, man. I would never dream that I'd be swinging fish like this, but I'm going to. Oh my God. He's too big to swing. A 15-pound line gives you a lot of authority, doesn't it? I mean, a lot better chance of getting them in. Every one of them just pumped solid full of bait fish. Hey, don't go away. When we come back, you're gonna witness something you don't see every day.
Reel in the Outdoors with Joe Thomas is presented by Steel and your neighborhood Steel Power Equipment dealer. Are you ready for a Steel?
We are Steel, German-engineered chainsaws and landscape products.
The majority of which are made here in America by Americans.
And exported to over 90 countries around the world.
Find out why Steel is #1 in America at steelusa.com.
As a professional angler, I've spent thousands of days on the water. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that conditions can change. So pay attention to your surroundings and be alert to signs, buoys, sirens, and barriers that warn of potential hazards. And let someone know where you're going, who you're going to be with, and how long you plan to be gone. And most importantly, always wear your life jacket. It's the one way to make certain we'll all have fun on the water.
Brookfield Renewable Energy Group reminds you to wear it and share the river safely.
There's one, Joe. There
Got
he
him.
is.
Good job.
There he is. I got him too. There's one right there. Big fish too. Big fish.
Welcome back to Steel's Reel in the Outdoors. Now, I said the blade bait has been in my tackle box for over 30 years, and that's a fact. But I want to tell you something. It rarely sees daylight unless the water is extremely cold. It's one of the best cold water bass baits I know. And that bait goes back to the original head and sonar. It was manufactured back in the 1950s. But the bait that I became familiar with when I was in high school, when I first put it in my tackle box, was called a silver buddy. It was invented by a guy in Kentucky down on Dale Hollow. His name was Buddy Banks. And the bait was made famous by smallmouth fishing legend, one of my heroes, Billy Westmoreland. The bait to this day is the best cold water smallmouth bass bait anybody's ever used. Jerry, look there. Definitely a fish right there.
See him?
Yep.
God, I had him right there. Let's see if he'll take it again. Got him. He
Came right back.
Got
Isn't that
it.
amazing how they do
This is
that?
a good one, Joe.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice fish. Chunker. Yeah. And when they get it too, don't they?
That's the second comebacker.
Yeah. Showing they're excited about it. They're liking that blade bait.
I'm just gonna swing that one.
You can do that on 15-pound test line too.
Yeah, I saw he was hooked pretty good
Yeah.
too.
That's
Little
another.
football.
Yeah. Look how chunky they are. You said it was like somebody took an air hose to them. Look at that, just big around as they are long.
You know what you'll see, and you can see it right here on this fish? See how he's got these scratches on his belly? On these Erie fish in particular, that is from the zebra mussel beds being down on there. Every fish will have those on it.
Because they're so tight to the bottom, they're actually rubbing on the zebra mussels.
See them right there?
It's crazy. Look, he's got a little gash up here too. That's wild. I didn't know that. I knew you were going to catch that one. I mean, that's so textbook, the way they come back on this bait. They do that a lot on tube baits too, don't they?
They do. But I think this thing drops right, if they miss it, it drops right underneath them and they can't resist
I
it.
think even if you sting them a little bit, I mean, there's a couple of times where
I didn't think that one was coming back. I stuck coming.
You get a little turn or two on them, and I think it pops out, and it's like they think, hey, that was a mean shad, you know?
Right.
And they just come back more aggressive.
You know, Joe, the November fishing is some of the best of the season. It's a little bit bittersweet for me because I know it's coming to an end. When you get these November days that are like this, they're real special because you just don't get the conditions this way. But all of my clients, big fish, top 10, I'd say 8 of them have come in November off of Erie.
And the amazing thing to me is you told me this when we were driving up. What is the biggest one that you've ever caught out here?
7.4 is my personal best.
7.4 smallie out here. And I think what's also unique is in November, you do get little windows, so you got to take advantage of it, don't you?
You have to. I mean, you see the conditions right here, and this does not happen very often. I mean, you have the big fronts that come through on the Great Lakes at this time of the year, and you know, it can limit your some Novembers we don't get out at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you something right now. The water is about 43 degrees, and we're fishing 23 to 26 feet?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. You got to have somebody that's kind of in the know to put you around them.
There's one, Joe.
Good one?
Yeah, good one. Stay on, baby.
Man, that fish pull and drag. Be one of those gorillas.
That's a big one.
That's a giant smallmouth. Look at that big old thing.
That's what we need.
Yeah, hang on. Get it for you, buddy. Or you gonna get it?
You got him?
Yeah, I get it for you.
He's just got that front hook in him.
Yes.
Keep that tension.
I got it for you right here.
Bring him right here, Joe.
What a chub. Look at that one.
That's a football there.
That's a football, isn't it? Look at
barely
that.
hooked.
Yeah, barely hooked. The hook just fell right out of his mouth. Nice job, man. That's nice.
Take it.
Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous fish. Beautiful. Dang, look how wide that thing is.
Dense.
Unbelievable. Cool. Can we put it back with you?
Yeah.
That's why you come out in November right there. For sure. Dude, that's a nice one. They are starting to crank up. Don't go away. I'll be right back with more Steele's Reel in the Outdoors from Lake Erie. My turn.
Reel in the Outdoors with Joe Thomas is presented by Peak Products. Run true with Peak. Before Zeiss lenses are ready for Browning's Impact series, they go through a rigorous testing regimen at the Zeiss labs. They're tested for high mass impact, hydrophobics, and anti-reflective polarization. But the real test comes here, in the field, with the Browning Pro staff. Introducing Browning's Impact series eyewear, featuring Zeiss Impacto lenses, the first sunglasses ever to feature this level of impact resistance, hydrophobics, and polarization. Browning Performance Eyewear, the best there is.
This is what's got him right here.
We're on him, dude. What a pig. I'm Joe Thomas, and this is Steele's Reel in the Outdoors. Now, if you're just joining us, I'm with my friend and guide, Gerry Gosnick, on the western basin of Lake Erie, and the water temps are frigid in the low 40s, but we are working up a sweat with some heavy metal.
There's one right there.
Big fish too, big fish.
Just so you know, what I'm doing is we got our bite drifting down. I've turned around and I'm following my GPS line. Nice one, Jerry. I'm following my GPS line to go right back through that same area, and we're just putting a hurt on them, man. Just putting a daggone hurt on them. Can you get that one? You want to swing him? It's pretty big. I better grab that one. You know why I don't want to grab him, Jerry? It's because my hands. Look at that one. Just look at that toad. Look at that. He's got that thing on the outside of his mouth too.
Barely hooked. Football though.
Gosh, gorgeous fish. Just gorgeous.
Yeah, we are pounding on him right here.
You get so excited, you get so nervous. Everything's when it's happening this fast, you just can't wait to get your bait back in the water.
See him right there?
Yep.
Look at him right there.
I'm gonna throw him just out the side of the boat. Come right through him.
Look, Joe, they're right there on the depth finder.
Oh yeah, I can see him. I'll drop out right behind the boat. Got him. That was that one on the screen.
Nice.
I threw behind the boat. You look like a good
Feel
one.
decent?
Yeah. Except for my motor though, because I threw dead behind the boat.
Yeah, he is behind the motor.
I mean, like, propeller problems. That's a big fish, I think, dude. I got him on the wrong side of the boat.
Yeah, I can see him over here.
Great, good news. Nice fish. Not a giant, but
He ain't bad.
that's a good one. I could see him, literally just see him separate up off the bottom. Look at that chunker. Just look at that thing. I could see him separate up off the bottom. Look like a little piece of spaghetti down there, right off the bottom. And the thing is, you got to think about your transducer cone. It goes down like this.
I got one too, Joe.
And when you're drifting along, if you see something coming to your screen, that's going under your boat. So what you have to do a lot of times if you're drifting is pitch out behind the boat to catch them.
I'm not going to show you this one.
Well, here, seriously, let's see how you're doing today. Let's compare. Let's compare. Joe's fish, Jerry's fish. Which one do you want? You decide. I'll take Joe's fish all day long. That football. Oh, I just opened myself up for a butt whipping, I think, by doing that to him.
What's that?
Smallmouth expert on Lake Erie, and I'm giving him a bunch of lip. My time's coming.
I'm just being nice.
Just being nice. You're never nice. You know, Jerry, the coolest thing about these blade baits is you can do what I just did. You can make those long casts. And with a jig and spoon, I mean, you can fish a blade bait right under the boat vertically like you would a spoon. But a spoon, you're limited. I mean, you almost have to drop it on the fish to catch them. The blade bait, you can cover a lot of water. You can just hop it, can't you?
It's got some action when you cast it. And, you know, unlike the jigging spoon, I feel like I'm in contact with this bait all the time. I mean, if you don't have that vibration and, you know, just the slab metal, you kind of lose it on the drop. You know, I feel like I can, you know, stay in contact with this lure at all times.
There's one fish on. That's a good one, isn't it?
I haven't seen him yet. He's kind of running like a smaller one, but he ain't bad. Solid one.
Oh, yeah.
Lift him.
Fish, Jerry. Good fish.
Chunk?
Jerry, I'm telling you, they're all good ones. We've caught so many big fish today. But you know, this technique, a lot of people have never fished a blade bait, and you're sitting here going, you know, what's the deal? It's not that difficult. You toss the bait out there, you let it go to the bottom, and depending on the water temperature, you either snap the bait up hard or you just kind of pull it, and it vibrates when it comes off the bottom. So snap it up and then drop the rod and let it fall at the same pace. Hits bottom, you'll see a little bit of slack drop in your line, and then lift it again. Just repeat the process until one of them grabs a hold of it. Hey, don't go away, because if you turn the channel right now, I promise you tomorrow you're gonna get a text and your buddy's gonna say, did you see what happened in the final segment of Steele's Reel in the Outdoors? And you're gonna go, huh?
Closed captioning for Steele's Reel in the Outdoors is provided by America Modern Insurance Group, the home for exclusive Joe Thomas fishing tip videos and specialty bass boat insurance.
Your 2012 Bassmaster Angler of the Year, Brent Chapman!
Success for an angler at any level is a vision thing, and fish see UV color 7 times better. UV color makes up 80% of the light in shallow water, 100% in deeper water. These baits reflect UV light just like real bait fish. Try baits from the only manufacturer that uses UV colors, Tightlines UV. Go to tightlinesuv.com.
This is Billy Chapman Jr.'s Anglers Inn International. Good job, man.
Hello, my name is Billy Chapman Jr., owner and founder of Anglers Inn International. Let us show you our world. Just give us a call, 1-800-GOTA-FISH, for more information.
Oh, girl. Can you feel it go thump, thump, thump in it? You're making me work now. Just look at that toad. Hey, welcome back to Steele's Reel in the Outdoors. Now, if you're not convinced by now that a blade bait in cold water is not a great way to catch a trophy smallmouth, you will be after this.
Nice. Good one? Yeah.
Nice fish.
Decent?
Yeah, it's a big fish.
Big one.
Whoa! Oh, I can't even believe it. I always say it takes something pretty special to get me out of a tree stand, and this is it. I'm always nervous about putting too much pressure on Jerry because I don't want you to wear that thing.
I'm gonna be careful here. That's a beautiful one right
That's
there.
a big fish, dude. You get him? Nope. It's cool.
Sorry.
We're good. We're good. All good.
Back down.
Just so hard to get your hand in their mouth, isn't it? There you go. Nice. Nice job, buddy.
He's got
nice
that
job.
classic fall look to him where their mouths are all swelled up. And
Yeah. My hand is so cold I can't hardly hold him, but look at that. Just look at that fish. Golly. Just a pork chop. Just munching that blade bait. And it's such a cool bite because you'll snap that bait off just 4, 5, 6 inches off the bottom, and then you don't want to just drop slack in it. You want to actually control the bait as it's going back, and you feel it go thump, 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 and they lock up on it. Love the sound effects, don't you? I'll tell you, my hands are so cold, but it's worth it. I mean, that's what you have to put up with. You play the weather, you play the wind, and you put up with the cold. But the honest truth is, you could very easily catch the trophy fish of a lifetime. I mean, heck, you could catch a state record out here this time of year. I mean, if you're ever gonna do it, this is the time of year to do it. Catch a true giant. Got him?
Got you.
Look at the arch underneath you. He came up for that fish,
It's
didn't
a
he?
big one too, dude. It's a giant one, Joe, for real.
Oh, gosh. Dude, look at that fish. Look at that fish.
That's a 6.
Oh my God. I can't get my hand in his mouth. He's so big, Jared. I'm sorry, dude, but I'm trying.
I'm gonna help you.
Get your hand in his mouth. Look at that one.
That's what you come up here.
Look at that.
Here for.
Is that amazing? Look at the size of that fish. That one's crowding. That's upper 5s anyway.
Yeah,
Look
it
at
is.
that fish. Just amazing. And he was square under the boat.
Yep.
Dead square under the boat.
That.
If you wonder what you come to,
right there.
wonder what you come to Lake Erie for in the fall, I want to tell you something. That is it right there. Unreal. Now, if you spend a lot of time on the water, you're going to get to see some cool stuff, like an osprey swooping down to grab a fish, or maybe a water spout. But I promise you, you're not going to see anything any cooler than what you're going to see on this week's Reel Highlight.
This week's Reel Highlight is presented by Ranger Boats, powered by Evinrude E-Tech Outboards. Ranger, celebrating 45 years of building legends, one at a time.
Big one.
That one?
Yep. Big fish. I mean, a giant one, Joe. Joe, this is a 6.5, 7 pound.
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. Okay, this one, you see this where this is going? Back in the water. Oh my gosh, it's a giant. It is a monster. Jerry's one of the biggest ones I've ever seen on this lake. Just a mammoth fish.
Stay on there, baby.
Take your time with it. It's hooked right in the top of the mouth. Just a complete giant. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Gosh, what a bass. What a
Lip
bass.
him. Get him.
I got him.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yes.
Hook fell out of his mouth. Pull that.
Whoa!
That's a monster. Dude, that is just a giant. I mean, Jerry and
That's a
I
7.
have done so many shows over the years. We've caught so many big smallmouth. And I want to tell you something, dude. You have outdone yourself. I promise you, that's one of the biggest smallmouths we've ever had on Reel in the Outdoors.
Joe, that's what November on Erie's all about.
Unbelievable, great, one of the best days.
I'm shaking right
one of the
now.
best days I've ever had on the water fishing for big trophy smallmouth. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. I mean, it's been a heart stopper. After today, I guess you can see why I get so excited about catching big smallmouth. And I want to give a little shout out to my buddy Jerry Gostinek, and he'll take you fishing too, but I promise you better call fast and be ready for a busy signal after this episode. I'm Joe Thomas, and I'll see you next week on Steele's Reel in the Outdoors.
Steele's Reel in the Outdoors with Joe Thomas is presented in part by Minn Kota and Humminbird, The Rod Jacket by Anglers Innovations, Lucky Craft Lures, Arky Jigs, White Island Chevrolet, and Dixie Marine.
I seen you playing with that little one.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
You weren't looking at it from my view.
No, I know. Joe, get up here. Throw down that peckerhead and get up here.